What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Eric, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to delete your throttle body coolant lines for free. Now you guys are probably wondering to yourselves, why we even have this system set up like this from factory. And it's actually fairly simple. The reason you have it is because there is some parts of the world that it gets extremely cold. If you allow the throttle body to get extremely cold, it's possible that it might freeze up and the flapper inside of the throttle body won't move freely. Now, you use coolant in that throttle body because coolant has a lower freezing point than regular water. So that's the main reason why you guys have this system set up like this. Now, although coolant is necessary, from preventing this throttle body from freezing, luckily for me, I actually don't live in one of those places that it gets extremely cold, and it never really ever freezes here in Phoenix, Arizona. So for me, it's not really necessary to have these coolant lines going to the throttle body. Since your engine is a combustion engine, it's basically producing a lot of heat already as it is. So by running the coolant that's already pretty hot to the throttle bodies, the only thing you're doing is heat soaking your vehicle more. So deleting these lines going to your throttle body will bring down the temperature of your engine a little bit, and you might notice some difference. There is dynos out there that show a positive gain from deleting the coolant lines to your throttle body. Now, whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. So as promised, I'm going to show you guys how to delete these coolant lines for free. Yep, you heard it right, for free. You don't need to waste any money. So today we're going to be working on my 2003 G35, and as you guys can see, the throttle body lines are a little bit hidden. So I did bring out a separate upper plenum so that you guys can see what we're going to be working on. So these right here are the two throttle body coolant lines. Now you can go ahead and either cut these, plug them up. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to affect anything. But basically what we're going to do is bypass these lines that go to the plenum. So the first thing that I'm going to do is remove my intake tube out of the way. Just to make it easier for you guys to see, I'm going to remove the whole assembly out of the way. Since I'm going to disconnect my mass airflow sensor, I'm going to also disconnect my battery. With your intake out of the way, you're going to have access to the line that goes to your throttle body. Now, there's two like I mentioned, but from this angle, it's easier to get this guy out. To remove the other line, you have to go on the passenger side. But you guys can see that that line kind of runs down right over here to this tube right here in the middle. So I'm going to use some pliers here to disconnect this part of the line. Pull it out of the way here, and then you're gonna want to go ahead and pull on this hose here. Some coolant is gonna come out when you guys do this, but it's not gonna be enough to make a difference. Now, to get the other coolant line out of the way, you guys have to disconnect it from the back right here. It's possible you can do it from the other side, but I find this to be easier. I'm going to remove this assembly here out of the way so that you guys can see a little bit better. Since it's a little cramped, I'm going to use my phone to show you where that other line is. It's right there. You guys can see the little clamp there. So you want to go ahead and unclamp it from there. Now that you have your two coolant hoses disconnected, if you guys wanted to spend a little extra money, what you guys could do is make these two connections one. By doing that, you guys are basically bypassing this plenum. You will need a fitting for that, a straight through fitting specifically. But basically you can connect this line to the other line and bypass the plenum that way. Now that's all great and everything, but I find it that it's easier to just delete these hoses altogether, kind of remove some clutter from the engine bay, and you will be able to do it for free. So I'm going to show you my method that I think works better, in my opinion. You guys can be the judge of that. But we're going to go ahead and delete this hose here along with the other hose that we have over there. I will show you guys my method here. Now what you have to do is disconnect this hose from this pipe right here altogether. So go ahead and unclamp this clamp right here. Now that I have this hose removed, what I'm going to do is actually cut it, and I'll explain to you guys why I'm cutting it here in a second. This is what you're left with. Now, to do this for free, this is my method. I'm going to use a fastener, and I'm going to plug this hose up with this fastener. Now, you guys can get a zinc plated fastener so that it doesn't corrode or rust or anything like that. But basically, you're going to fit this fastener in this hose right here. You're going to connect the hose back to the pipe and clamp it, and it's basically going to be shut. This is how you're going to bypass it for free. Now, you're going to reuse the clamps that you had on your throttle body to clamp the fastener. So I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera. It's going to be a little bit tight of a fit, but I'm going to use some WD-40 so that it can go in there smoothly. And this is what you're going to be left with once you're done modifying this. As you guys can see, this is going to work perfectly. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this guy back there. I'm going to do the same thing to the other one in the back of the engine. That one's a little bit hard to do because it's hidden. So I will show you guys that when it's done. But you're going to do the same thing that you did on this side. To save time, what you guys can do is measure this hose out and cut another piece to the exact same size. And that is how it looks when you install it back onto your vehicle. So this right here is the rear side delete. It's hard to see, but it's basically the same as the front one. This one was a little bit harder to get to. What I would suggest is to clamp everything before you try to put it on there, because there is very little space in here to move around. But as you can see, it is clamped on there, and it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything back together and turn on the vehicle and just inspect for any leaks. So I put everything back together. There is no visible leaks that I have seen. The best part about this mod is that it was free, and you guys can also do it. Like I said, it's pretty simple to do, and this video should be a great guide showing you guys how to do it. Now I will say that my method is a little bit permanent. If you guys want to go back, you guys need to get a new hose to basically put everything back together. If you guys want something more like temporary, what you guys can do is put a valve in the line so that you guys can open and close it at your own pleasure. There is a ton of different ways that you can go about doing this process, but I hope you guys did like my video. If you guys did, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing for more, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.